Hello, guys. Welcome to History in 5 Minutes. When we think of kings and queens, we often imagine royal crowns, glittering palaces, and powerful empires. But history books sometimes glass over the dark side of the absolute power. Today, we're looking at the top 10 most ruthless kings and queens in history. These are rulers who were feared by their people, hated by their enemies, and remembered centuries later for the blood they spilled. At number 10, we have Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. Our list begins with Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian noblewoman from the late 1500s, whose name became synonymous with terror. She was accused of torturing and murdering as many as 600 young women, often luring them to her castle with promises of work or education. Eventually, she was tried and sentenced, though instead of execution, she was locked away in her castle, bricked into a small room until she died in 1614. Whether a legend or fact, Elizabeth Bathory remains one of history's most chilling figures, often called the Blood Countess. Catherine de' Medici, the ruthless queen mother. Number 9, we have Catherine de' Medici, Queen of France in the 1500s and one of the most powerful women of her time. Catherine was not a monarch by birthright, but by marriage and strategy. She married King Henry II of France and later ruled through her sons. She was clever, cunning, and fiercely protective of her family's power. Her most notorious moment came in 1572, during the Saint Bartholomew's Day massacres. She began as targeted killings of Protestant leaders in Paris, spiraling into a mass slaughter across France. In this chaos, somewhere between 10,000 and 30,000 Protestants were killed. To her supporters, she was a survivor in brutal times. To her enemies, she was a mastermind of murder. Catherine de' Medici's ruthless reputation has lived on for centuries. Number 8, we got Nero, Rome's mad emperor. He became emperor just 16 years old, but he quickly spiraled into cruelty and chaos. He was accused of executing his own mother, Agrippina, and later his wife Octavia, indulged in luxuries while the people of Rome suffered. His most infamous moment came in 64 AD when a massive fire consumed much of the city. Ancient sources accuse Nero of starting the fire himself and credited Rome in his own vision. And when the people grew angry, he shifted the blame onto Christians, leading to brutal public executions. Victims were burned alive, torn apart by dogs, or crucified. Whether or not he truly played the fiddle while Rome burned, that might be a legend, but his cruelty and corruption made him one of the history's most hated rulers. Number 7, we got Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God. Number 7 brings us to the 5th century with Attila the Hun, known as his enemies as the Scourge of God. Attila's empire stretched across vast portions of Europe and Asia. His army struck fear everywhere they went. Entire cities surrounded without a fight, simply to avoid destruction that followed in his wake. Attila demanded a huge tribute of gold from the Eastern Roman Empire, and when he didn't get what he wanted, he burned and pillaged cities, leaving only ruins. His reputation was so terrifying that the Rome itself trembled when he approached. Though he never conquered the city, his mere presence was enough to spread panic. Attila died in 4053, reportedly from a nosebleed on his wedding night, strangely quiet for such a feared warlord. But his legacy is one of the most ruthless conquerors in history that has never been forgotten. Leopold II of Belgium, the Butcher of Congo. Number 6 may surprise you, because it's not an ancient figure but a modern king, Leopold II of Belgium. In the late 1800s, Leopold acquired the Congo Free State in Central Africa, not as a colony for Belgium, but as his own private property. He presented it as a humanitarian mission, but in reality, it was a brutal system of forced labor. Villagers were forced to harvest rubber under impossible quotas. Those who failed were beaten, mutilated, or killed. One of the most notorious punishments was cutting off hands, which became a gruesome symbol of his regime. Historians estimate that as many as 10 million Congolese people died from violence, disease, and starvation during his rule. Leopold became one of the richest men in Europe while millions of lives were destroyed. Today, he is remembered not as a king of Belgium, but as one of the most ruthless colonizers in history. So guys, this will be a video that will have 2 parts. I'm going to get to the top 5 in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this quick short video about the most ruthless rulers in Europe. Some of these were pretty horrible, from the spot 10 getting down to spot 6, but next top 5 are going to be the worst of the worst. So please like, share, and subscribe to History in 5 Minutes. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.